Welcome back to Starting Up. Now, one community which will be at the core of the new BSE SME exchange is the merchant banking community. Not only do they have to underwrite the entire issue for any company that's being listed, they will also be the market makers for a period of 3 years. On the flip side though, they are expected to drastically reduce their costs. How will they take to the new exchange? That's what we explore in the second part of the Starting Up special. We have Jay Gupta of the Loot, a very late-stage company who will be looking actively at the exchange. Jay, what's your question?
Yeah, my question is that what would be the approximate cost if you want to raise approximately 100 crore rupees in a SME exchange? From what will a merchant banker charge us? That's number one. Second question is that what drives merchant banker to market make the stocks, for a period of 1 year or 3 years? Sure. Which is required. How does it
We'll take the first question first.
See, the cost basically, some of the what I call the stringent regulations of capital raising in the normal IPO are not that stringent in the SME market. So we believe overall the cost of total issues will come down substantially. But over and above that, this is for me an opportunity for the merchant bankers and also the entrepreneurs to innovatively discuss with each other and bring down the cost in terms of make it more connected to the company's profits and so on and so forth. Because also merchant banker is committing to make market making for 3 years. In a normal market, the cost of an IPO would start somewhere between 5 to 7 crores minimum. Now, in a small or medium sector enterprise, if you kind of have that kind of cost, you would have a pretty large percentage of the raised capital going into the cost, which is not feasible.
So let's take Jay's scenario. So he mentioned if he's looking to raise 100 crores, the approximate costs are 7 crores. A big percentage of that are the merchant banker fees, right? Which you're saying has to be negotiated between the merchant banker and the SME, considering the merchant banker is also the market maker here, so he has more to gain. But what about the listing fees and other fees, stationery costs and so on? How much lesser is that as compared to the regular exchange?
That's what I was saying, that the listing fees are pretty much insignificant in terms of the scale of activities. And what I said 7% is in the normal market. Sure. In the SME market, we don't expect it to be very, very high.
Ashish, how much you see it coming down by? If 7 crores is the cost for a 100 crore IPO on the main exchange, how much you see it being here?
It could be probably lower than 50 lakhs or 1 crore if you, if you plan it smartly.
The cost savings for companies on the SME exchange are on 3 fronts. Firstly, BSE officials expect the merchant banker fees to reduce from 5% to 0.5 to 1%. Secondly, in the SME exchange, both the stationery costs and the listing fees are negligible. Factoring this in, costs come down to between 50 lakhs and a crore for a 100 crore issue.
Risk for a company of our size to get listed in the SME exchange. Is there any risk of subscription, not subscription, or there is no risk as far as we are concerned?
I would answer the question. See, banker does the 100% underwriting for the issue size. 15% he has to take into his pick-off accounts, and remaining he can do the private placement with various other institutional and other investors. So that way there is a huge safety for the SMEs. In a normal main board, actually a company may come, and if it doesn't subscribe to certain limits, the issue will fail. But here it will be 100% ensured that it will be listed. Once a merchant banker takes up the issue, he takes the responsibility to get the company listed, and also takes a responsibility of doing the market making for next 3 years, which ensures sufficient liquidity for the trading of stocks.
So, but Jay's question comes from the fact that more than the entrepreneur being at risk, the merchant banker is heavily at risk in this exchange, right?
Yes, merchant bankers' credibility, merchant bankers, everything is going to be tested.
So the next question, Lakshman, is what has the BSE SME exchange done to empanel merchant bankers, because they seem to be the most vital cog in this whole ecosystem?
Actually, we have been widely interacting with merchant bankers, and we see the medium and small merchant bankers, they are highly excited. And even we see there is a change in thinking in the large merchant bankers also.
So what is the mood amongst the merchant bankers right now, Ashish? Honestly, what are the A merchant bankers saying?
See, the way we look at it is there are 2 parts to the entire framework. One is pre-start and the other is post-start. Pre-start, a lot of apprehensions will be there. and some of them, the companies, similarly some of the merchant bankers will take the initiative and run with it.
Sure.
And they will be the people.
So have some A-grade merchant bankers come forward already?
Large number of people.
So you're confident of merchant bankers coming on board?
Absolutely, and the apprehensions will also be removed to some extent once the market starts operating. Then you talk business.
Up next, entrepreneurs quiz the BSE top bosses on both compliance norms and tax ops for firms that list on the exchange. That's coming up right after this break.
I'm sure the government of India would also be thinking of giving some incentives to the sector.